The effect of an obsessive self-image is an idea worth spreading. Like it, post it, tweet it, text it. Our world is overrun by technology, and we're becoming smaller and more interconnected via social media. So make sure to CC your community, because this selfie nation is one to be remembered. Well, that is, if remembering doesn't become completely obsolete. Our capacity to store long-term memory is being degraded by the devices we're using. The most important memories that we need to store are the lived memories. Here's a concrete example. Nobody knows phone numbers by heart anymore. No one in this generation. Mom is on my list of favorites, Dad right underneath. I even got my dog on there. With all of them on a single compact list, a phone call, it's just a tap away. Now, I'd like you to think about the visual components of our lives. Pictures. We love to photograph, and we love sharing everything we do. And we share everything we accomplish. And then we store these vivid images in our short-term memory album because we have Instagram to do the true remembering. We want to remember our social media fame, and not necessarily the essence or the reasoning behind the flash of the camera. We can boast, hey, remember we took that picture there and we tagged ourselves here and all those great things. Your mind cares to remember things that are special. And when it comes to exhaustingly posting pictures, it's as if nothing is special anymore, because just about everything is photographed these days. It all starts with my cheeseburger. I did eat that, by the way. It all starts with my cheeseburger from In-N-Out. In 30 minutes, it's a 250-like sensation. Not to mention that minute-to-like ratio, right? Wait, see? That minute-to-like ratio. We have become so distant from taking photographs as a means to remember the good times that we only care about things like the minute-to-like ratio or the number of likes on a picture per minute. So the lighting, the filter, the caption is so hashtag on point. And the fame, it tastes so good, even better than that In-N-Out burger. And then we have to make sure to tag that Insta-famous food blog because, you know, hey, maybe I can get my photo on their page. I can already taste the addition of those followers. With social networks doing all the remembering for us, the memories are gone, literally. Clearly, posting photos isn't a method of digital scrapbooking to look back on in years to come. It's actually a phenomenon that fuels our narcissistic generation and personalities. In the process, it warps our ability to remember anything in our daily lives. Something as easy as, hey, Brett, where'd you go to dinner last night? Who are you with? I know I took pictures of that. Things like that. I don't even remember when I went to dinner. I got to check the pictures of the food I took. Now look at this. According to a 2011 study and then published in the National Geographic, college students remembered less information when they knew it could be easily accessed later on the computer. To Google is now a verb. That's ridiculous. We have Wikipedia at our fingertips. Why take notes anymore? All our lessons can be learned instantaneously at any time, anywhere, all written down in the internet's indelible ink. Just imagine, for a second, if the internet were to be discontinued at this very moment. Thousands of pictures and memories on faux flash, just on that faux flash memory, lost alongside the ability to remember them. Our generation is so self-absorbed that cell phone companies use us as a marketing tool. And only a few years ago, they introduced the front-facing camera, which was supposed to be used for video chats, and we decided to use it for selfies. Our research team wanted to delve into the true philosophy of selfies. And right over here, this was on Time Magazine's list of best inventions in 2014. It's a selfie stick. It looks more like a sprinkler to me, but it's a selfie stick. So I can't believe this went down in history as one of the best inventions. It's ridiculous. So we wanted to delve into the philosophy of the underlying reasons that people take a selfie. Right now, I'd like to share 3 of those. Number 1, there's a need to capture the moment that we're in right now. Everyone wants to document a great memory, and a selfie is the easiest way to do it. And next, the ever-present, unquenched thirst for attention. One quick selfie posted to social media can show where we are, what we're doing, whom we're with, how we're doing it. What's simpler? And that brings me to the next point. A selfie is so easy that there's almost no reason why not to take one. The simplicity of the selfie, combined with the message that it holds, is the reason that selfies have taken over social media. And I promise you, they won't be going away anytime soon. Our group wanted to look into how teenagers in our high school have adopted this frenzy. We conducted a survey of 81 students ranging from grades 9 to 12 between the ages of 14 and 18 respectively. And we found that on average, students do take about 12 selfies a day. Now, of course, this varied greatly from student to student. For example, 10 students said they only took 5, while another 6 said that they took more than 35 per day. So this clearly shows that while some teens remain indifferent towards the selfies, others have embraced the trend and made it a part of their daily lives. So up here we can see the total of 81. 29, who are those in red, said they took more than 40 selfies a day. So we decided that's not as many as we thought. We thought it'd be a lot more. So what we decided to do is we went a bit further and we added up the number of selfies with just those 29 people, and then added up all the selfies with just the yellow, which is all the people who took less than 40. And we were a bit scared when we found these results. It was almost triple the amount of selfies with just those 29 people than all the rest. This selfie generation, with its egotistical nature, has provoked many changes in how our youth is perceived and how our youth perceives the world. Traditional values discarded. They're replaced by a discredited sense of self-involvement. And the selfie is what we call the socially acceptable form of vanity that fuels this self-involvement and limits attentiveness to the reality of the world. This self-involvement has even made us blind to social and appropriate conduct. Here's an example. That's right. A serial bank robber from Michigan posted self-incriminating evidence to social media, a picture of him holding the gun he used in one of his holdups. Now, note I said serial. I really don't know how he got away with all the other ones. I don't. Selfies like this one contain inappropriate content, and that seems to be the glaring issue. But why don't you step back for a second and think about where you take your selfies, if you're into that whole selfie thing. Where you take your selfies. There have been grinning selfies in front of the 9/11 memorial pools as if it were just another sightseeing spot, showing an indifference to the names of the deceased victims. Even worse is a photo we are not authorized to show, and it is a selfie of a teenage girl smiling in front of the Holocaust death camp Auschwitz. Even after receiving negative viral reaction to the whole photo, she narcissistically responded, "I'm famous, y'all." Similar events have occurred at the Vietnam Memorial, Anne Frank's home, and even funerals. These examples create a lucid image of how drastically people have been brainwashed by the obsession with the selfie and their online egos. Thus, they have tarnished the morals of our society and have taken this trend too far. People seem to be taking pictures that will receive the greatest shock value, and in hopes of gaining 15 minutes of internet fame, they fail to consider the lifetime of notoriety. This era of self-absorbed teenagers seems all negative, but social media seems to be the most obvious answer in providing an outlet for the more widely approved self-expression as a means of identity management. Teens feel that the internet users all over the world actually care about their lives, which is a great thing. And thus, they use social media to meet the demands of others. With this instantaneous feedback on social media platforms, teenagers' perceptions of how they view themselves are affected. By taking the positive and, of course, the negative feedback that they're receiving, these young adults significantly alter their self-concept. Research has shown that with the ability to receive social interaction easily outside of a true social scene, teenagers are still able to develop with a broader spectrum of influences. Now, beware, the only way to really experience these positive aspects of social media is to use it appropriately and with moderation. Teenagers must understand that their social profiles, their digital profiles, do not define them. They are real people when they power down those screens. However, the only way for these teens to really learn effective and moderate social media use is to be part of the lab rat generation. for future generations to learn from. So here are some serious, unfortunate psychological issues that do arise from social media. With the need to meet the demand of respected peers and adults across multiple social media platforms, teens hold themselves to unusually high standards in the digital world. They constantly worry about how others will perceive them anytime they create a written or a photographic post, because they know that that post is permanent and can be revisited at any time. They've locked themselves into a freeze frame of time to be judged and scrutinized. The National Institute of Mental Health reports that 25.3% of teenagers in America, much like yourselves, suffer from some form of anxiety due to social media. Now that's enough standing people like myself on this red circle to completely cover the area of a football field 2,800 times over again. Teens engage in social media almost all day long. They are attached, fueled, controlled, even though the root of their problems lights up right before their eyes. One of the most prevalent issues that this demographic is facing is the fear of missing out, a phenomenon so real that it has actually been officially coined FOMO. Most teens don't even recognize they have it, but their thoughts certainly reveal it. One teen who took a workshop on the ills of social media reported, "You see your friends hanging out with other people and you're like, I'm alone right now." And that just makes you feel bad or lonely or sad. That's what she reported. Social media is like a billboard of events that's going on. And if you're on your computer scrolling through them, chances are you're not there. This billboard is breaking teens apart and adding unnecessary stress to their lives. Many report feeling insecure, overwhelmed, and even lonely. In fact, their anxiety causes them to withdraw and become more socially isolated, therefore missing out on even more. The vicious cycle continues on. So remember, if you still have that ability, remember moderation. If you're hooked on this nicotine, turn off the screens and disconnect once in a while. You'll start to spark with the people around you in person. You'll eventually stop thinking about yourself all the time. And I promise you, you'll be a much happier and more balanced person as a result. Thank you.